party? You listening to JiBron here, back again with another video. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And to all of you at home tuning in live, welcome to the JiBron Unhinged experience. Okay, y'all, we have a lot to discuss this week, and when I tell you that the celebrities were celebrating all over the interwebs this week, I was so happy because I was like, finally, things that I actually care about and actually want to talk about. Y'all, did you hear about Brandy and Wanya and that whole situation? When I tell you I was shocked, but not really, come here. Did you not know that he took her virginity at 16 and he was 22? Oh, Lord, my cup runneth over. When I tell you, I was beyond disturbed and beyond disgusted. So let me give you the rundown. So Brandy has recently come out with her new memoir called Phases, and she talked about a lot, including the 2006 car crash where she had survivor's remorse for the fact that she lived and, you know, the other people didn't. And she also talked about some other things, including her spiritual marriage. But this thing took the internet by storm because if you all remember, I wasn't alive yet, but it's always been in talks about the nature of Brandy and Wanya's relationship, because they always came out publicly and said that they waited to be intimate and be together till she was 18. However, she admitted in her memoir that it started at 16. So she said, Wanya and I understood with diamond cut clarity that the public knowledge of our relationship would ignite scandal, potentially threatening everything we both worked for. So he and I opted for an elaborate fiction. We would pretend patience and calm while we were waiting until my 18th birthday before pursuing any romantic connection. She also said that he would compare her to other top R&B acts of the day, including his duet partner Mariah Carey. As you all know, that he had the One Sweet Day song with her that was #1 for 16 weeks. She would have to page him before she called him, which was a red flag. She also said that he ultimately cheated on her, which is why they broke up. The sad part is when it comes to Brandy, she's not the first girl that has gone through this, and she won't be the last, which is unfortunate. It's quite disgusting that a 22-year-old man would find anything sexually attractive about a 16-year-old girl. It's very R. Kelly, Aaliyah reminiscent, minus the marriage of it all. The fact that grown men think that it is okay to sexualize a child, because at the end of the day, when you are 16 years old, you are still a child, you're still growing, you're still developing, you're not mentally mature yet. And even though he's 22 and some people could say, oh, you're still young and you don't know what the hell's going on, it's still the fact that you know that you have the upper hand in the relationship. And the fact that he's still continuing with this lie years and years later shows what kind of person he is. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm 21. I would never date someone who is still high school age, because even though you are not that far apart in age, a high schooler is still green in a lot of ways, and they don't understand the concepts of a relationship and love and the earth. It's very David and Celeste reminiscent. I know we talked about that, and you know, I haven't had any updates, which is why we haven't discussed it here on JiBron Unhinged, but it's kind of sad that to this day he won't admit that, hey, I took advantage of a young girl. And Brandy's admitting that she's not innocent. She knew what she was doing was wrong, because she would have to sneak and, you know, go around her parents' back to just, you know, date Wanya, essentially. She said that dating was out of the question, essentially, for her at that age, especially a 22-year-old man. No, she should have been worried about what was going on with Moesha and singing, baby, 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 baby. Like, girl, like, dating a man. First of all, Wanya, I've heard things about you over the years. We've always heard that your attitude is some of the worst that has ever been. You and Boyz II Men were arrogant beyond belief, and I can only imagine what it's like to date you, because you got a big ego, and you better be lucky the statutes of limitations is real, because you should be in jail, because this is not okay. This is not acceptable. People like you need to be made an example out of, because the fact that this still goes on to present day, that these people are well over age dating high schoolers, it shouldn't go on, because you have to think about how you are in a mindset of being a high schooler. You're thinking that life is sunshine and rainbows and it's so easy. You're not really working hard. Even if you're in Hollywood, you still don't have a concept of the real world. And she's clearly was taken advantage of. I know plenty of people who've dated men who were who were over the age and they were like freshmen and they were seniors, or they were freshmen and they were then to college. Boy, that's not okay. That's not acceptable. And we need to stop it now because it leaves people traumatized. And ultimately, Brandy has to deal with the scars that are left over her life. And it's not something that she's necessarily proud of. Speaking about other complicated relationships, did y'all hear about Chloe and Lamar in the documentary, The Death and Life of Lamar Odom? Y'all. Okay. Lamar Odom and Chloe's marriage. I loved Lammy and I loved her, but I see why she left. Chloe and Lamar. Lamar, from what I hear, you sound very opportunistic because this is what allegedly happened in the documentary. Now, I have not watched the documentary yet, so I can't give my full opinion about it because I have not tuned into it, but I will tune in and I will give you my opinion. So, pretty much what happened was this. So, apparently, Lamar had wanted to be on reality TV for such a long time, and he said, essentially, he alluded to the fact that the Kardashians have the lifestyle that he wanted to live. So I guess he started dating Chloe, and he was like, he thought he could have his comeuppance of the world, and he pretty much saw an opportunity and leached on it. Chloe talked about how she got no sleep the whole time that she was married to Lamar. She also said that she got a phone call from one of his mistresses saying that she had been effing her husband, and said that she was freaked out how effed up he was on drugs. And she said, "I've got to get off this ride. Can you come pick him up?" He also did not realize that he was getting traded from the Lakers to Dallas until he heard it on the radio when he was going to essentially go to practice. And she said his drug use increased because one time he locked himself in the bathroom for 4 days just doing drugs. And she said that when he would go out of town, that she would a lot of times she would go and play cleanup woman and go clean up his drugs and paraphernalia behind him, so I guess the public or the press or the housekeeping wouldn't know, so they wouldn't have anything to report to the tabloids. Because I will tell you this, I was a Kardashian fan around the time that they were married. I think I started tuning in a little bit more towards the end of her marriage when she was dating French Montana, because that's when I was of age and I would watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians in marathon format. And I do remember Chloe's love for Lamar just was so amazing. Like, you could really tell that she loved that man. And she also said that she didn't want to get the divorce. She said that it was an ultimatum that they told him to pretty much go to rehab, and he didn't want to go to rehab. And he said, well, we'll just get the divorce. And he said, give me my passport. And she was like, wait, you don't want to stay and fight for our marriage? You don't want to stay and fight for our love? You just want to end it all because you can't get your fix? And she said that before Lamar had the ultimate, when he had the stroke and had the overdose, and keep in mind, this wasn't the first time that Lamar overdosed. She said Lamar overdosed plenty of times beforehand, that she kept having dreams that he had passed away, and that she got the call on the phone from Kim that Kim found the news, and she remembered screaming. His dad ultimately wanted to take him off of life support due to the fact that he thought that he was going to be a beneficiary of the of Lamar's wealth, and that Kobe Bryant assisted during this time, and Chloe pretty much was trying to help him get, the help that he needed. She even rented a house for him in Calabasas, and she had to kick him out because she remembered she went upstairs and she smelled the smell of crack, and she punched him in the face, and the rest is history. Lamar, in recent years, has since apologized to Chloe, but this is one instance where I feel like love is just not enough. I've been in a situation like this before where you've done all you can do for a person, but until a person wants help, you can't help them. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. In order for people to change their ways and their habits, they have to want it for themselves. And addiction is real. It is an illness. Lamar's father was a heroin addict, and he essentially came to the hospital, and I think that he needed $100 and a pair of Jordans, and he was gone. Chloe really loved this man, and she did everything that she could for him. This is one incident where I feel like Chloe doesn't get the credit where she deserves. Granted, Chloe, I liked your first face. Chloe, when we met you, I identify with you because I'm the black sheep of my family, and I understand how you felt like the fat, ugly duckling, but you were never fat or ugly. You were pretty. You were just the middle child, and you were oftentimes misunderstood. I mean, Kim in her first face and her first body, She was the epitome of beauty. And I guess when you grow up with that, you don't really get to look on the inside and see how beautiful and unique that you are, because Chloe has this motherly spirit that you can tell through the TV that is just genuine and that is real. And that you can ultimately understand, that Chloe just wanted to be loved. And I feel like that. And so Chloe and I can identify with her. It's sad that Lamar took advantage of this girl because she was 24 years old when they got married. And y'all know that she got married fairly quickly. And it's sad to see that someone who just wanted to be loved got taken advantage of. But in other people news, did y'all hear about Chilli and allegedly being Maga? Come here. You might be having to go be the passenger side of your best friend's ride because, girl, the people are sick of you and your BS. Because here's this. T-Boss went on an interview and she said, yeah, my group member voted for him. But Chilli, you tried. You really, really tried. You tried to get yourself out of this situation. You went on social media and you went on a rant and you pretty much said the following. 1 second, y'all, while I get my crap together. So, Chilli, it was reported that she donated $210 to $210.60 to Win Red, which is a processor for the Republican campaign, $340 to the Trump National Committee, JFC, and $486.54 to Never Surrender, which is a political fundraising group that links to Trump. She said, I made a mistake, too many make. I did not read the fine print. I thought I was supporting causes against human trafficking and for veterans. Two things I care deeply about, as my dad is a veteran and everyone I know I love children. She was asking for grace as she navigates through this. Chilli, you had me good until T-Boss said that you voted for him. And here's the thing. Now, we know I don't talk about politics, but I don't personally care what a person who filed bankruptcy, because you clearly can't read the fine print because you got screwed out of your first recording contract because you didn't read the fine print. When Pebble sued y'all for $1 million, remember that? They sued TLC for $1 million letter that ultimately had to pay Pebbles and her nose some money to get out of their recording contract, and they also weren't getting the proper royalty rates. So clearly you don't know how to read. But T-Boss confirmed that you voted for him. And I personally don't care who you vote for, but here's the thing, like I talked about with Nicki Minaj, you have to be careful what you do in your private life because it'll ultimately affect your business. T-Boss and Chilli have a rabid gay fan base, and we all know that some of the things that go on in the current presidential climate, they don't really tend to go along with gay rights or different rights of that nature, and it's gonna affect your business. People aren't gonna want to mess with you. You better go in your house and hide and pray that this Passover, girl, like it's about to be Passover Friday, because it's about to be Good Friday. You better hope this blows over, because sister, we know that you need this money to live. We know that your royalty rates are high because you never wrote a song a day in your life. You were always the pretty girl with the good baby hair. And being pretty only gets you so far. I mean, like Judge Judy always said, cute is temporary, dumb is forever. You need to learn how to read. You need to, first of all, reading is one thing, comprehension is another. You need to know what you're doing with your money. You are a public figure. You are a part of the most successful girl group of all time. Y'all had, I think, 2 diamond albums back to back. You will go down in history. But you have to settle for these chicken gigs and going on these back to the 90s tour. Like, your group is huge. Granted, you don't have the #1 hits that the Supremes have, but you are just as big as them because of your record sales. I think what people fail to realize is just because someone likes to get money from people, they might not necessarily agree with the lifestyle. And that's all I'm gonna say about you, Chilli. In other news, did y'all hear about Tiger Woods and his new DUI? Tiger Woods, baby. This is your second DUI in almost 9 years. Okay, if you don't know what happened, I'll tell you what happened. So apparently Tiger Woods was driving through Jupiter, Florida, again, where he had his other DUI. Tiger Woods, you have a history of crashing cars. I think that you crashed like 4 cars, and the way that your cars are always damaged, it's not like a normal fender bender. Like, you destroy cars. If I were you, I would never step foot behind a wheel again, because at the end of the day, your license needs to be revoked and you need help. Because here's what happened. So the 50-year-old was driving his Range Rover, and he had 2 hydrocodone pills stashed in his pocket. He pled not guilty in the Florida crash. However, he ultimately said he wants to go get treatment. He blew negative on the breathalyzer and he underwent field sobriety tests, but he refused to get a urinal analysis because clearly you would have failed that. Tiger Woods clearly has a problem. And addiction like Lamar is real. And people are not going to get the help that they need until it's almost too late. People like that need to go under extensive rehabilitation to figure out why they are even doing the drugs, because a lot of people who do drugs, there's a deeper reason why they're trying to escape. I don't think people do drugs just to get the chase of feeling high. They needed to get their mind and escape reality off of whatever internal demons that they're dealing with, whether it's from childhood, adulthood, never feeling enough. We all have our own personal demons, and until you look in the mirror and want to address them and face them head on, you can drink yourself to death, you can pop all the pills you want to till you die, you can take all the snort all the cocaine you want to, until you realize that internally what is like the void that you're trying to fill internally is filled, you will never be satisfied. He retained his attorney, Douglas Duncan, who helped him get off in the 2017 DUI battle. The thing about Tiger Woods is to be the greatest golf player and to suffer the internal demons you probably deal with on a day-to-day basis is quite sad. It's sad to see your legends go out so bad. These people are people that we looked at and people probably aspire to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that you are the best at what you do. I understand that there's pressures about it, but clearly there was pressures long before you got the spotlight, and you need help, and only you can get the help. His girlfriend apparently is gonna stand beside her man, which, girl, you just a girlfriend, respectfully. I wouldn't stand beside my man. I'd go find someone else who's not an addict until he gets his crap together. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But at the end of the day, you're gonna end up like Chloe, and Chloe had to do what was ultimately best for her, and so you're gonna have to do ultimately what's best for you. The last thing I want to talk about is something that's actually positive. So, did y'all hear about Victor Glover? Victor Glover is a man who is an astronaut, and he is going to make history as the first African-American pilot to go orbit around moon as a U.S. Navy captain and astronaut. He previously became the first black person to serve as a long-term expedition on the International Space Station in 2020. This is what I talk about when it comes to black excellence. Now, y'all know I sit, gossip, kiki, judge, and be judgmental, but at the end of the day, I like to see us do well, and I like to see people be an inspiration for the youth and give people an idea of a hope that whatever you put your mind to that you can achieve and dream, it's possible that no matter what your circumstances are right now, you can achieve your biggest dreams and your biggest goals. But y'all, that's all that I have for this segment this week. I actually have an interview today. So my friend Noah Shalibin is gonna be in studio. Probably butchered his name. He knows I love him. That's my 2%. So Noah's actually about to come in the studio, and we're going to discuss all that's going on with Noah, because Noah and I actually went on the skills trip together. So come on, y'all. So here live in the studio, I have my friend 2% Noah Shalibin.
Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today?
Used to hate the little people, used to hate these people. How y'all saying? How y'all doing? Morning, y'all. Okay, y'all. So Noah and I have known of each other for a minute, but I didn't really get to know Noah until like a couple of weeks ago, and that's my 2%. All right. So Noah is actually the owner, CEO, and film person for his production company called Ace Media Productions. So tell them a little bit about Ace Media Productions first.
Well, I just started. I'm in the process of creating my business of Ace Media Production. I think my main goal is, of course, just get portfolio work and add more to my business, but invest into a crew. Because, like they say, more hands is lighter work.
Yes.
So that's the big goal, is to network with people and try to have partnership with somebody with the business. And not only that, just invest into it, you know?
That's real. So how did you get into video production? What made you want to change your career path?
It's so crazy because it was a teacher that I didn't even have his class. No major, no nothing. His name was Jack Allen. And it was crazy because it was just one conversation about Skills USA. I never heard about it. I was in the lab. I stumbled upon his conversation about Skills USA. I asked him about it. I literally just said I want to do video production because he mentioned it. Mind you, he's never seen any type of skills about video and editing. He's like, no, you can do this.
Yeah.
So I think him just believing in me, even though like he has never seen my work, ignited that torch that I needed. So it kind of motivated me just to just pursue more into video production, you know?
So did you have like any previous career aspirations prior to getting into video production?
No, actually, I just wanted to get into video production last year.
Yeah.
For a while, I was still in the process of just finding my own business. Not only that, something I can pursue it. Because the older we get, we don't want to work. We want to have fun. Or not even have fun, but something we want to do.
You want to wake up and actually be happy to go to work.
Exactly.
Damn it. So talk to us about your experience at Skills.
Skills? Well, I went last year and this year too. But last year, it was fun, but it was more of a learning process. It was my first time ever doing anything video production, and just it was such a learning curve. And this year was even to the next level because I'm already having practice. But I feel like this year was even better than last year because not only I made friends, I made networking partnerships, and not only that, just Steve more of my learning curve, especially if you're gonna air out the commercial for the show, right?
Yes, we're going to put in post production, y'all. I'm sorry you live people don't get to see it, but it'll be on the page.
You can see it on the post.
They should have won gold, but we ain't gonna go there right now.
But it was good. I feel like this year was like even way better. Like I said, it did feel like a vacation, but it also felt like networking with people. Like I feel like I've grown into more gaining people, more of a tighter circle.
Yeah.
Not only that, a partnership with people.
Let me give y'all the rundown about why he said it felt like a vacation, by the way. Let me just go ahead and spill the tea.
He'll say that. He'll explain.
So, on Skills, by the way, because, you know, we talked about it last week on the show about how I felt after the band. We got all emotional and not just, okay, well. So, we would have, like, call times to where we would compete. But then then after we got done doing what we had to do at the events, we would have downtime, right? So, the first down day we had was the first day we got there, we went to Chili's. That was the whole thing. We went to Target. Okay, cool. The second, it was my birthday. Okay, shout out. Oh, that was fun. And then the last night that we spent the night there, we went bowling, and then we just went back to Cammie and Noah's room. That was probably my favorite night.
Like last night was the favorite.
My favorite, I think, because I like more intimate settings, and it was all of us just talking. Yeah, me and Noah was on the couch. We had kind of forgot everybody was depth. It was just fun.
Literally.
And like that was literally I told y'all like last week, that was literally my favorite birthday like I've ever had. It just felt, it wasn't like it wasn't what I would have planned for 21, but it's better than what I could have expected.
He wasn't expecting that whole it to go like that. And I agree too. I feel like the last day was the best day for me. Not only that, because we was done with Skills, we didn't have to worry about waking up early. We were just worrying about just having fun, and not only that, getting to know more and more about our students. Like you and me, like we really got close, and not only that we're friends. I feel like this could be further into a partnership. You know.
Like, because I feel like we understand each other better as business people, but as individuals. And I feel like when you are in business with someone, it's good to know the two. I know a lot of people say you can't do business, you're not supposed to do business with your friends. I've always done business with my friends, y'all. Like, shout out to Bryson. Bryson has been my go-to person for everything. Like, my intro that y'all see every week, Bryson made it. Bryson was my social media manager. Bryson was when I first started doing the show, Bryson was like my brain.
But see, it's cool because, like you said, y'all can bounce back. You have the show, he can edit,
and then once you're
more and more.
And then when you're friends with someone, you know how they are.
Exactly, you know what to expect of them, and not only that, you probably don't even have to explain to them what you need because y'all are already close to together. For a person that you hire that don't know you, you might as well work with the closest people you know.
It's like you do a whole lot of over explaining. Yeah. So like what kind of motivates you to create? Like this makes me want to do this.
My inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's my friends. It's not even just we have the same goals. It's just I feel like we're all goal oriented. So it motivates me to see that my friends can go to the next level and peak my expectations for them. And it kind of just motivates me to go outside the box, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I get it completely. Last thing I want to ask you is what are some of your ultimate career goals as far as your business this fifth grade? Like, where do you see Ace Media Productions maybe in 10 years?
I see Ace Media Production teaming up with other medias, and not only that, maybe potentially your show. I know, like, this is out of nowhere, but I would love to, like, make commercials for businesses and to air it out to podcasts, years or another one. And not only that, invest more and more into it, get to the next level. So regular commercials, corporate commercials, highlight reels. I just see Ace Media Production not going away. Yeah, especially for Shreveport and Bossier, these shot videographers. But you're seeing Shreveport and Bossier, like,
We're going at this little renaissance right now.
exactly, the media is coming back up.
Yeah.
They need a cameraman. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's what keeps me motivated, and that's the next goal, is to just invest more and more into my business.
So let the people at home know where they can reach you and contact you and how they can book you.
So I just created a media page called Ace Media Production. It's on TikTok. As you can look me up, Ace Media Production. Hope they can see that on post.
All right, y'all. We're going to have that on post. Now, y'all, we're going to go to my last. You can stay here for this if you want to.
Okay.
So now we're about to go through my last and final segment, which is final thoughts with JiBron. First of all, I've got to fit check earlier today, by the way. No, you can just throw them your outfit if you feel like it.
We got to talk about your outfit.
Okay, y'all. So this, hold on, let me scoot back. So y'all, this outfit is like a mixture of like old friends. Okay, so the shoes, this actually went with the suit. Y'all, I'm looking at the monitor so I can see myself. So these actually went with my homecoming suit that I got for freshman year back when I was stacked. And then these pants are from Ace, like that came from a local suit shop. And then these pants I bought when I got skinny, and now I'm getting thick. And so now they fit like a glove. And we ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna praise the Lord, all right? All right. And then like y'all know this is my normal get up jewelry. Like this is just, friends and the fossil watch. Like everything I have on is pretty much cheap, but it looks expensive.
But it all goes together.
Yeah,
Like it's very color coordinated.
Yeah, it's cohesive. Like I feel like, okay, guys, like at home, you guys have to realize this. It's not about what you have on. It's not about what you wear. It's about how you put it together. Because a lot of my stuff, I don't buy full price. I buy it on sale, and I just know how to piece stuff together. And you have to know what works for you and your body. And it's about personal style, not trend. Because I don't give a rat's behind if polka dots and rainbows are in trend. I'm not wearing it. I like floral, and I like stuff that's tight and fitted, which is why my hands look like this. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. Final thoughts that I want to have today is this. Kind of going back to what I was talking about with Chloe being the black sheep of your family, I kind of want to pick back up on that. I was the black sheep of my family, which is why I don't really talk to my father's side of the family, as we kind of discussed in one video where I was talking about some things that all allegedly happened so I can't get sued. But
That's important.
yeah, because then nobody got time. First of all, they ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, so they ain't got no money to sue me anyway, because I wish you would. Try me. Come down to the blue and see what happens. But I feel like when you are the black sheep, you kind of sometimes you get too used to being misunderstood, and you don't get you get used to being in this box and a bubble, and you don't try to go out and achieve your dreams, and you kind of let people affect you, and you don't want to go to the next level. I feel like it is important when you are getting judgment from people to realize where they are in their lives. The people that I was trying to fit in with have never gone to the heights that I'm trying to go to, and it's okay not to fit in. And sometimes not even getting the support of your family is okay, as long as you have God on your side, some good friends, because your friends really do become your family. Family is just so happen who you just get related to. Friends to me are chosen family. As long as you build your support team, the limit is the moon, y'all. But anyway, y'all, that's all the time that I have for y'all this week. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all all back next week. And thank you all for tuning in live. I love you. Bye.
See y'all. Have y'all have a good one.